So, the video's out. A lot of people watched it. I'm close to 10,000 views at this point. It was a massive success. I'm very proud of what I made. That's my 7.5 hour Homestuck video. Rewriting the end of Homestuck. That's what it was called. And it's done now. And I made it. And I'm proud to have made it. And wait, wasn't there like a Moors of Icarus or something back there that I skipped where I can get an encounter in? You know, give me an excuse to read some of these comments that I got like over 100 of. I get so many comics, so many comments, words. But yeah, my video's out, and now I can rest, and by rest, I mean get back on the fucking horse and make more videos. I've started working on shit. This was the first time, like, actually no, I did it with the Trezzy, but I had just like this big live premiere for the video, and I had like 80 people in it, and just talking to them as the video and seeing their reactions. I think my favorite thing, two things, is when we get into the darkest hour, where it's the part of the video where I'm showing clips of my interviews where I ask the authors of these comics that I talk about, so how did you get into Homestuck? And it's just kind of between their answers. People in the chat started saying their own answers, and that was really sweet. And the other thing that I really liked in the live chat was people who hadn't read Altstuck realizing, as I did, that Altstuck is really, really fucking cool, and it's the hypest shit that's ever happened. And just like as they get into S-Break, like, wait, what? Holy shit, this is fucking Dragon Ball. This is so fucking good. This is peak. Like, just constant reaction. Like, Altstuck's so fucking good. I love Altstuck. And goddamn. Put me to sleep. That's fucking great. Put me to sleep. Like, who do you think you are? Me? With my very long video? Where I did have, like, one commenter. It's like, did you talk about Home Slice? Yes. Oh, shit. I fell asleep in the middle of the video. I must have missed it. Because, you know, it's 7.5. Half of the comments are 7.5 hours? How is it 7.5 hours? 7.5 hours! Yeah, that's a very long video. The other half are, like, people who are like, oh, you only discussed pre-reboot Homestuck 2. Did you know that they rebooted it and that's good now? And like, watch the video. Watch the video. I talk about it. That's the plot twist. That's like the final ending at the end. But yeah, it was good. Just great reaction. And some actual developments, things that I would amend the video, but I don't want to if YouTube made it easier to amend videos. And are you fucking kidding me? Stop putting my Pokemon to sleep. I did have a few more people who worked on Taking Back Canon. Multiple people reached out to me. Well, first off, in the live chat there was Kai, the person I interviewed, and he was just like even more like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was written by Kamei. Yeah, it was terrible. Just like confirming, oh god, it was. Yeah, you read between the lines. You correctly sussed out that, oh man, we shouldn't have written it this way. It was chaotic nonsense, and no one could agree on anything because we had 20 people in the writers' room, and they're 20 Homestuck fans, so it's even worse. Yeah, you got me. But also, Kai took everything in stride, which is good. Joy took everything in stride. Karen took everything in stride. Actually, why the fuck did I call her Heather? She told me her name was Karen. She even made a joke, and I like laughed at it, like, hi, it's me, I'm Karen. My name is Karen. And every single time I mentioned her, I called her Heather. Why the fuck did I call her Heather? I wrote it down as Heather, and then every time I say it, it's like I glance a little bit higher up on my script. What's her name? Oh, right, Heather. Like, God, that's just humiliating that I got the name of Mr. And it's super disrespectful and terrible to her. She took it in stride, but oh man. But anyway, I had like another person who worked on Taking Back Canon reach out to me, and son of a bitch, am I not recording? Okay, never mind. That's the how long I've been live streaming counter, not the recording counter, and I thought I was just looking at my OBS and misreading. But anyway, another person who because when I talk about TBC, I pointed out half this comic is gone. I don't know why. It must have been a like server hosting issue, but half the panels do not exist anymore. That kind of sucks. And I mentioned that, and one of the artists who worked on that's like, oh, I have all these panels. Here's all of them in the Google Drive. There you are. And I looked through it, and it didn't enlighten things. I was wondering if was there like something that made this comic make a bit more sense in the missing panels, in the like why Vriska and Aradia and Solix are there. No, it just shows like John, Jane, and Karkav reaching for the door, and then they're there. I mean, the art quality was fine in that comic. That's not a problem, but it didn't explain. But there are those panels there. If you want to go look for them, I have a pinned comment about that. And you know, it was just a really. I'm glad that the video turned out so well. Encoding overload. Ugh. So the reason I'm filming this and uploading this on a Friday when I normally do this on Saturday, and like the lag that's causing encoding overload is making me hold down buttons for longer. No. Stupid fucking keyboard can't do ice puzzles. And why can't I go on a corner? It's because Easter's this weekend. I'm visiting family, so I can't record tomorrow. Is why I'm doing it today. And so, you know, I'm so proud. It's probably the best video I've ever made. The 7.5 hour. I'm never making another 7.5 hour Homestuck video essay again. But you know what? This one turned out well. I'm glad people enjoyed it. I think I did good. And now I'm back on the horse. I gotta get into working on more videos. I decided the next video I'm going to make is going to be analyzing the lore of Wizards with Guns, which is a sketch comedy YouTube, and a lot of their videos have connections to other videos, and you can like make a chart of it and figure out what is in continuity with what. I've reached the point, I'm like a fourth of the way through their library, and I've encountered a problem, and that problem is Guy Fieri directed a movie. Like it's a movie trailer directed by Guy Fieri is what the sketch is, and it's called Sauce. And like, okay, so this isn't in reality, because I'm going to sort it into this is things that happen in this continuity, this is things that are fictional in that continuity, like the early 2000s movie Teen or American Weed Card. They like changed the title a bunch in the video just for jokes, but like American Weed Car Road Edition, Weed Edition, whatever that fucking sketch is called. That is a movie trailer, and in other Wizards with Guns, it's a movie trailer, and it says, starring Robert Donkey Sr. And there are other Wizards with Guns sketches where they mention Robert Donkey Sr. So he's an actor in universe who starred in this movie, and so that is on a different layer of reality than the ones where they mention Robert Donkey Sr. Got it, that makes sense, okay? So, like, there's, within Wizards with Guns, there's the sketches that are fictional, and then there's the sketches that are fictional, but within the context of the sketcher. This is gonna be a really fucking complicated thing. You're gonna have to see the charts in the videos to understand what I mean, and it's winter, so I don't think I can actually get a Palpitoad, which is why I came here, and I should heal my Pokemon before I keep fighting all these tough trainers. Otherwise, I'm going to get a pool on my team. But anyway, the Sauce trailer broke me because it gets mentioned in a sketch that mentions a bunch of other sketches. In the Cannibal Astronaut sketch, I believe it's called Space Weight, or the first Cannibal. Side note, the problem with Wizards with Guns is they constantly change the fucking sketch titles, and that makes talking about them complicated, because, like, well, what are you talking about? And a lot of the sketch titles they change to are worse. Like, there's a sketch that's a National Treasure parody. It's named Irrational Treasure, and it's National Treasure, except Nick Cage's character, I forget his name in the movie, is just an idiot and keeps destroying things. Like they do the joke, you're pissing on the Constitution. Who am I, Congress? But anyway, what was it? So in Space Weight, it's a news broadcast, and at the bottom it mentions the plot of a bunch of sketches, like the G is for Jesus guys getting arrested for carrying around a bazooka, and Nick Cage is, or not actually, his name was Daniel, which is not a, when do you know it's a Daniel? Daniel is a question I'm going to have to ask, but But like the sidekick in the National Treasure parody, the fact that he's shitting coins, this is incomprehensible if you haven't seen those videos. The fact that he's shitting coins is mentioned in Space Weight, and the Bird Convention sketch mentioned in Space Weight. Magius mentioned in Space Weight. So much mentioned in Space Weight. It is the glue that holds this universe together. And also, they mentioned the assassination from Sauce Trailer, meaning that Sauce Trailer, even though it's a fucking movie trailer, is a thing that is literally happening. And this broke my brain. And it could be worse. It could be worse is that fucking Magius shows up in one of the bloopers episodes, which means that the bloopers episodes take place in the same continuity as the Magius videos, even though Magius appears in the bloopers videos. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's so many layers of reality. And also, Daniel. I understand Daniel. I got a lot of thoughts. I'm under figuring out how Daniel is, but I have to ask the question. I ask it several times in this what I'm working on. By the way, I haven't actually read the script yet. I'm going through all the videos and taking notes on them, and then I'm going to write the script after I've done that. But when is a Daniel? Because Daniel is a reoccurring character. He's this vaguely evil guy. He has a mustache and a red turtleneck. He's played by Mitchell Vance. He never says anything. Okay? But there are other characters that might be Daniel, but aren't definitely Daniel. For instance, in Irrational Treasure, Frank St. John plays a character named Daniel, but he has no traits shared with Vance Daniel, except that he's named Daniel. So probably not a Daniel. That Daniel's not a Daniel. But what about Dan Hyman, the character played by Mitchell Vance, who has the glasses, has the mustache. The character, actually I don't think Daniel has the glasses, but he has the same mustache. He doesn't have the turtleneck, but he has the mustache, and he's named Daniel, and he's played by Mitchell Vance in the Sandcastle real estate. Is that Daniel? But he talks, and he doesn't act like Daniel, but he's named Daniel, and he's played by the same fucking actor, so is he Daniel? And also, I've made some revelations as, like, random weird jokes that make sense, because, in the DJ Remixes Court Testimony sketch, I forget the exact name, Frank St. John's character, who is named Mitch, is arrested for a crime that was committed by a guy named Daniel. So, like, he's not Daniel, even inside the sketch. Frank isn't playing a character named Daniel. He's playing a character who is mistaken for a murderer named Daniel. But is that murderer the Daniel who appears in the Hillary Kitchen sketches? I would argue yes. And my evidence for that is why would you mix up a guy named Daniel with the guy named Mitch? Because as we see in multiple videos, Mitchell Vance, who plays himself in multiple sketches, looks identical to Daniel, the evil television producer. By the way, that's my plot twist. That's why I reveal why does Daniel appear in so many sketches. He's a television producer with the network that hosts G is for Jesus and Hillary Kitchen and a bunch of other shows. That's why he appears in multiple things. And the other one that I have the other one that I've uncovered things about Daniel is Daniel's Quiet Corner, which features Michael Romanello, however his fucking name, I don't know if it's a Y or a L, but Michael Romanello playing a character named David. Like, it's such a good dumb fucking nonsense joke. Wizards with Guns is good at just nonsensical punchlines, but I can't solve. I'm coming back to this fucking place. I'm just gonna skip this place and come back later, because I can't do it to winter. In Daniel's Quiet Corner, it begins with Michael's character saying, "Hello, welcome to Daniel's Quiet Corner. I'm named David." So it's like the joke is that they got the host got his name wrong. No, because he's not Daniel. He's not Daniel from Quiet Corner. You know who appears constantly on television shows on this network and never talks? Who is probably the main host of Daniel's Quiet Corner? Daniel the murderer. Daniel. Vance Daniel is the one that Daniel's Quiet Corner is named after. I bet it's like fucking Steve Blue's Clues thing where they... Oh, hi, Getsis. Hi, ninjas. Fucking mug me on the bridge. Okay, that's cool. They're quiet like Daniel. The reason why it's Daniel's Quiet Corner, even though it's hosted by David, is because it used to be hosted by Daniel, and then he left like Steve from Blue's Clues, and like the new host is wearing a red turtleneck because that's Daniel's shirt, and he's trying to look like Daniel. And the reason he gets a call from the president, reason why he's getting a call from a president, because as it is established in the Vermilius Can't Think of an Evil Plan sketch, it is established that Daniel is the son of a senator. So of course he's on a first name basis with the president. Maybe the president's his dad. Maybe the president is just a guy he knows. And at the end of that, at the end of that sketch, David says, "Hi, Dad," and then he corrects himself because the president, maybe it's because he shouldn't be calling the president dad when he's at work, or maybe it's because the president isn't his dad, it's Daniel's dad. Did you just throw a fucking CD at me? Fuck you. The point is, I got lots of complicated lore from Wizards with Guns to uncover. This show is a nightmare, but it's a very good show. Sup, biker face? Lots of bikers here for some reason. Oh, this show's gonna break me. So I'm working on that. I need to get more Cold West written. What I'm doing this season is I want all the episodes of an arc, because Cold West, I split the campaign into arcs. I want all the episodes of a single arc to be written before I start that arc in episode 3 as the start of a 3-part arc. So I need to get 3 episodes written before I finish writing it. I've got about 14 more minutes to edit in the second episode of Cold West, which is going to be called Haunted, and that comes out first Saturday in May. Then 5th and final Saturday in May is when I'm doing the other part. Also got watch and write Captain America. And also this week, part of the reason I didn't get much writing done this week is because I was reading the Unabomber manifesto for a writing project, not a video essay. It was another thing. But anyway, I read the Unabomber manifesto, and I gotta say, this is a hot take. I do not care for Ted Kazinzky. I think he's a real jerk. Like the Norm Macdonald joke. Yeah, ha ha ha, you're kind of a jerk. But no, I think the Unabomber's overrated. Like, admittedly, he's, how I want to phrase this, he's a talented writer and like makes evidence for his arguments and structures it in a it's a technically well-written thing. It's not like an angry rant I thought it would be, but also it's just shitty fucking philosophy. Like, oh, I feel bored and unsatisfied with academia. I wish I was a caveman and getting mauled to death by a saber-toothed tiger, because then I'd be freer and have more control over my life. Oh, woe is me, I don't feel manly enough in modern industrialized society. I wish I had more freedom over my life like people did back when the child mortality rate was like 50%. Like, I think all those people who lost children because of low survival ratings for their children, I think they would very much love to live in a world where their children died and they had no choice over it, because in that world you have more choice over like your life, because you just fucking die randomly because the fucking Unabomber destroyed all of society and there isn't medicine anymore, and that's freedom. You dying because you're an inferior sick person is freedom, because then I get to do my badass caveman fantasies, and realistically in the world I want, I would like get a cut and like die immediately, and then I'd be bitching on my deathbed about how I still don't feel in control of my life because I'm dying, but I just, I'd blame it on fucking communism and the stupid communists who just like only pretend to think that black people aren't inferior because they want to virtue signal. By the way, half of the Unabomber, actually it's more like a third. The first fucking third of it is just him like, just Fox News like bitching about virtue signaling and political correctness. It's fucking terrible. Once he starts making his actual arguments, there's at least something to analyze. But God, he's just a prick in the first half. Like, people think I'm racist when I call black people slurs. This isn't freedom. Shut the fuck up, Ted. But anyway, more importantly, Ted Kazinzky. I don't believe in Ted Kaczynski's version of freedom. I think he was a hypocrite and an asshole. And I think it's not a thing that it dwells on, but the defining passage in the Unabomber manifesto. It's a very short thing. He brings up diabetics and says that the world's bad because these diabetics should have all died out to purify the blood pool, and now, well, the only thing we can do now is the horrors of genetic engineering to get past the fact that diabetics are genetically inferior and are poisoning our bloodlines. What the fuck is that eugenics shit that he just brings out of fucking nowhere? The like, the only thing to do, the only way, our only options as society are either to kill all the diabetics or to have government-controlled genetic engineering to keep them from ruining our bloodlines. Or you could just allow them to have insulin, Ted. And I do think, like, that's the fucking telling thing about the stupid fucking Unabomber. Like people should have control over their lives and they don't anymore because of society. Ha, Rocky Helmet, eat shit, I was worried and then you died. What about the fucking diabetics, though, man? Like, if we're back to caveman times, all those people die? Like, they just all fucking die? They all get fucking exterminated? And where's their say? Where's their control over their lives? What if a diabetic doesn't want to be killed because you banned creation of insulin? Where's their fucking freedom? Where's their control over their life? Like, oh, I'm feeling control of my life. No shit. No one. Like, there are valid criticisms. I don't like the fucking government. I think government and capitalism are too totalitarian. But also, the stupid, brain-dead fucking Amprim bullshit. Like, Ted Kazinski's primary, his biggest complaint is that he doesn't feel in control of his real life. And newsflash, jackass, you're never going to have complete control over your life. You're never going to live in a world where things aren't influenced by the existence of other people, because that's how the fucking world works. So grow the fuck up and deal with it. Like, I'm fucking Ted Kazinski. Like, there are too many diabetics. They should just be all killed so I can have my caveman fantasies. Fuck you, Ted. He's a man who wanted to have just absurd, totalitarian levels of control over people's lives, and he's like, actually, I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom, and people should have control over their lives unless they're diabetics. Then they should be fucking killed. Ted Kazinski was an asshole. Like, and isn't even, he had some good points, but shouldn't have sent bombs to people. No, he was just a fucking asshole whose points were shitty, and fuck to get Ted Kazinski. Glad that fucker died 2 years ago. Like, the fucking, like, I don't think you don't get to complain about tyranny and people not having control over their lives, and also advocate eugenics, you fucking cunt. You stupid fucking cunt, Ted. Sorry, the Unabomber gets me pissed, and I don't have my Lilligant, so it's kind of awkward fighting Stuosion, which is actually doing a pretty good amount of damage to my Pokemon. Oh, that's 2 of its 5 recovers, so I can just wait it out. I'm going to heal, because it does hit hard. This would be a good replacement if it kills one of my Pokemon, but I prefer if it didn't. I've been pretty good on not losing team members so far, and the reason I'm reading Unabomber is I'm playing, the next thing I want to write is going to be like this political thriller, and like half of it, it's going to be cutting between this fucking guy, this terrorist who does a horrible terrorist attack, him like writing in advance about it and his motives in a manifesto, and cutting between that and like people being interviewed after the event about it, and also newspaper articles about the life of this guy and all the times he popped up in the news before it. And it's going to be a real good book, but it's going to be complicated, and I need to get the voice and the ideals of this fucking asshole just real right, and the way I'm doing that is by reading a bunch of manifestos, and the first one I read was the Unabomber manifesto, because that's a famous manifesto, and actually don't think I'll draw too much from it, actually, because actually the Unabomber manifesto was too intelligent and well written. So get in the ball so I can read a comment and then I can end the video, okay? Okay. Get in the ball. Get in the ball. Good. Good. This comment is from one of the people who worked on Subscript. Yeah, one of the comments I talked about. I didn't have much to say about it because I couldn't find anyone who worked on it when I made it. But commenter, I worked on Homestuck Subscript, and after my 2020 pandemic reread, I had to get Homestuck out of my system. I designed Dave's gala outfit. Misread that. Just type out this name. I'm just gonna do zombie rap because of character limits. I designed Dave's gala outfit, also did the panels for the scene with Solix and Carcat, and yes, it was pretty fucking weird to see my old shitty art and YouTube video, haha. It was a crazy potshot project that was born during dark times. The comic was never going to reach a conclusion, which is unfortunate because there were a reasonable amount of cool ideas that we wanted to explore. June, Jane's drama, Dave Kett, and eventually the final battle. The fact that it was flawed, imperfect project. But ultimately, all we wanted to create was a different ending for a comic we all loved so much that we had to make some admittedly pretty terrible art about it. I was 18 at the time, and I was a dumb kid who wanted to be a part of something. We all were. If I recall correctly, I was actually the oldest person on the team. Jesus Christ, really? And very much think it shows in the vast majority of the writing. I don't remember much of that time in my life in general, as I'm still dealing with the repercussions of the depression that the pandemic triggered. I was literally stuck at home. Har har, bad joke, I know. And it was a breath of fresh air to work on something that means a lot to me even now. Ultimately, a lot of us were lonely teens who were trying to make something out of the terrible hell we were all stuck in. And we bonded over that. Unfortunately, I don't talk to any of the old team, but I look back on those few short months fondly. To anyone who enjoyed the team, the work that the team and I put in to it, please know that it means the world to me, that something I helped make meant something to anyone. Thank you for playing. Well,